I went to interview Morris about his company for the stock market, and at the end of the interview, he offered me a job. Morris believed in me and saw something in me that I didn't see in me. It's almost like playing golf. If you're going to play a shot, you can't think of the next hole and the next shot. It's just a shot that is right there in front of you. You need to make sure everything about it is absolutely right.
In Business Access this week, we profile Richard Byles, president of Sagicor Group Jamaica. What does it take for an average child born in a working-class family to become one of Jamaica's top CEOs? Today, Richard Byles is the president of the Sagicor Group Jamaica, a world-class financial institution that offers life and health insurance, banking, real estate and pension services with total assets of over 300 billion Jamaican dollars. But his formula for climbing the corporate ladder is quite simple. Find out now in his story.
I was born in, I believe it's called Kingston Gardens, which is where Little Q Road is. I remember my father calling me one day after he had got a report from school, and I was like 15th in the class, right in the middle. And he said to me, you know, Richard, being mediocre is not a good thing. You really do need to strive to be better than mediocre. And somehow that one thing that he said stuck with me. So even when I worked with government, I tried to be exceptional. Whatever I was doing, I tried to do it to the best of my ability. And even though people used to see me as, well, he's involved in radical politics, they always would say, but he does his job very well. And that is a work habit that I've carried with me all throughout. When I went to JC, I was influenced quite a bit by what happened at the University of the West Indies. I remember in 1968, I believe, it was the Rodney riots, and so the Black Power movement was just taking root. And I had a teacher from Wmba who taught me in sixth form, and I used to get a lot of information about what was happening on campus, and he used to speak about the Black Power movement, and I was very influenced by it. And I think that's where I started my early involvement in radical politics. The year I went to university, Trevor Monroe returned from Oxford, and we became associated and helped to establish the University and Allied Workers Union, which was born on campus. So between the Black Power movement, the socialist movement, I became very involved, and I must say I think studying took second place to politics, so I'm quite amazed that I actually graduated. But it was a lovely time. I wouldn't have missed it for anything. I think that what I was most concerned about was social equity, that I saw people as human beings, not as belonging to this class or this race or that race. And I was very concerned that everybody had a equal opportunity to achieve what they wanted. So after Wmba, I worked for government for maybe about 10 years. Again, I enjoyed it. It took second place to politics, but it was fulfilling, professionally nonetheless. And then I went on to University of Bradford, where I studied economics some more. And I think that experience at University of Bradford was quite different. It was far more focused on my professional development and on my career. And I developed the passion for that technical side of my education. So when I came back, a lot had changed politically. A lot of the beliefs of socialism had unraveled. The Berlin Wall had fallen. Grenada was a big mistake and mess up. And I retreated from politics and went much more into my professional career. When I came back from University of Bradford, and I decided I wanted to develop my career and not so much in politics. The stock market was something that interested me, and I started to invest in it, and it happened to be at a time when the market was doing very well. And so I got deeply involved, and through Rita Humphreys, one of the persons who worked with me very closely, I did very well in the market, and that led to speaking to Morris Facey, who I went to interview Morris about his company for the stock market, and at the end of the interview he offered me a job. The job was to run this little bank that he had started. So I found that very interesting, and it struck me that Morris believed in me and saw something in me that I didn't see in me. And I'm forever thankful to him for that. And I took the job, and 2 years later he promoted me to run his group, and the rest is history. We took Panjam, which was an organization that had some good components but some bad businesses, and we cleaned out bad businesses and we built the good ones. And it turned out that Panjam is one of the most successful companies in Jamaica today, and I'm happy to have been a part of that along with Morris. So paying attention to what you are doing now and doing it very well is almost like playing golf. If you're going to play a shot, you can't think of the next hole and the next shot. It's just a shot that is right there in front of you. You need to make sure everything about it is absolutely right. And that's the attitude I take to whatever I'm doing. It has to be done right. And what comes after takes care of itself after you have taken care of what is important right now. In reorganizing Panjam, we had the bank and we had insurance company. And I organized the merger of that bank and that insurance company with what was Life for Jamaica at that time. And in so doing, I came over to Life of Jamaica to run the merged entity. So that was back in 2004, and I became the CEO of that operation. And we rebranded to Sagicor, and it's been 10 years, 10 really exciting years. I mean, I love the people I work with. I liken them to a stagecoach and being pulled by a bunch of stallions, though many of the stallions are female. And I'm the coach driver, and my job is to encourage them to run fast, but to have a single direction. I want everybody that is a leader in Sagicor to feel that whatever it is they feel is the right thing to do, that they can express it, and that it has an opportunity to become part of our reality here. So I encourage ideas, I encourage people to have initiative, I encourage people to lead from the front. So I think that it's a team here that has really made the success for Sagicor. Reward and recognition is very big for us here. It really, I would say, is most deeply rooted in the individual life side, where everybody works on commission. Nobody gets paid a salary. So to reward them and to recognize them. Because we find that just as importantly as earning is recognition when it comes to our individual life agents. They love to be known to their peers as being successful. and they really relish those moments. And what we have done is spread that throughout the whole organization. So we have one big awards function, and we recognize all of our top producers, whether they're in banking, asset management, group insurance, individual insurance. Everybody gets recognized, and we have a very substantial bonus system in the company that, as the company does well, everybody shares in those profits. We would be about the third most profitable company listed on the stock exchange. We made 5.8 billion last year, and we should top it again in this year. LOJ has always been a successful company. It ran into some problems in the mid-90s, but under Danny Williams' leadership, it was a very successful company. And I mean, I would see Danny as being an outstanding entrepreneur and business leader. So not to take away from that performance at all. I think the way in which I operate and have done from 2004 is, as we spoke about before, teamwork. We measure customer service every month in every way we can. How many customers come here, how many complaints come in, how many claims we settle. We have metrics that we monitor every month. It's not just a how do I think customer service is going. It's what do the measures of customer service say. And we have somebody at the VP level who is in charge of customer service. We measure what their satisfaction is. And we take that seriously, and we look to see what we have to do to improve on it. Our social responsibility, I would say, we take just as seriously. And we have two major functions that we do in the year. One is the Jamaica Teachers Association primary school games, which is really a treat to go and watch. All these hundreds of kids that come to town, most of them are from the rural areas. They come to town, some of them for the first time. They're put up in Kingston, they run at the National Stadium. I mean, they're in total awe to be at the stadium. And many of them are running barefoot. It's such a treat to watch these kids. They just enjoy themselves. And some of our best athletes came up through that process. Usain Bolt and Shelly-Ann Fraser came up through those championships. But of course, we're probably best known for the Sigma Run. And that's where we raise, I think this year we're going to raise over $20 million, and we had over 22,000 participants. Just a wonderful expression of unity, family, fun, contribution, giving back, being sensitive to the needs of people. And every year we try to make it bigger and better. So next year we're going to have to top the 20 million, and we're going to have to top the 22,000, and we're going to have to make the experience even better for the participants. Sagicor is really in a number of businesses, the individual life insurance, the group health, pension, so forth. So group and individual, banking and asset management. We see that all as financial services, and so too banking. So we've always been interested in having a rounded, full financial services offering to the public. And we see a lot of synergies that can occur between all of those businesses. Recently, we have been involved in the hotel business, but really through our pension fund. So for our pension fund customers, we have these 3 hotels. Jewel Duns River, which used to be the old Sandals. Jewel Runaway Bay, which was Breezes, and Jewel Paradise Cove, which was Hedonism 3. More and more, buying government paper is not as attractive and carries a certain amount of risk. And so we are more interested in investing in the real economy. and in particular in those areas of the real economy that are either foreign exchange earning or that are replacing imports.